In 1919, there was a young Army officer who was given the responsibility of moving a convoy of military equipment from the East Coast to the West Coast across the United States. And so they set off, and they wound through all these little roads and came to these bridges. I think the reports had that they had to either remove or rebuild something like 88 bridges because they were too narrow for the convoy, and they'd had to go through all these little main streets of all these little towns. They'd come to all these stop signs, and it took more than a month to move the military equipment from the East Coast to the West Coast. And this young Army officer was so concerned about this and saw this as such a critical issue for national security that he drew up a proposal that he presented first to the Army and then to civil authorities, and nothing was acted upon about his proposal until he himself was President of the United States, and President Dwight Eisenhower signed into law the interstate highway system. And so now when we travel on the interstate highway system to see our children and grandchildren and how it serves our commerce and everything, it's kind of hard for us to imagine what it was like before then, and that this actually started as a national security issue. How do we get equipment from the East Coast to the West Coast, or West Coast to the East Coast, or from north to south, south to north in 24 to 48 hours instead of 4, 6, 8 weeks? Now, when you think about the systems at work in your own congregation and how an idea begins with a sense of inspiration or a sense of calling in the heart or mind of 1 or 2 or 3 people, and then how it moves through the system of your congregation, through the committees and boards and councils and things, until it actually over here becomes an expression of ministry that really makes a difference in people's lives. Is your system within your congregation more like the interstate highway system? Or is it like that road system with all the narrow bridges and the stop signs and the unpaved roads? Sometimes our systems are conducive to our mission, and sometimes we have old systems that are not conducive to our mission.